Hey guys, it's Siobhan with To Kitty and Beyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing monthly horoscope readings for January 2020, and this is for Sagittarius. So that can apply to Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising, and I always recommend that you check out all of your signs for information and messages therein. So if this is your sun sign, then go check out your moon and rising sign videos as well. That way you just get an overall idea of the energy that's affecting you in January. Also keep in mind that these are general readings, so not all of the information or messages will apply to every person watching. Just take what messages do resonate with you and leave the rest here. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. Sagittarius, your current self-energy is coming up as the Strength card. Beautiful. So this is very strong internal energy. This is you really standing in your power, having that spiritual strength. Ooh, and the Ace of Cups. So the theme of the month is self-love, having the strength and the self-love to be able to tune into those higher realms and transform, which is the key goal for January 2020. This is you really burning away all that you are not and transforming into all that you are. So just as the phoenix burns itself into ashes and then is reborn from the ashes, this is kind of what's happening at a mental level. So I really see this as something that's shifting in your consciousness as the way, as to the way that you relate to self-love. So you may have shifting beliefs on what you need and how you can meet those needs for yourself. This is healing aspects of boundaries is for some reason what's coming through. So let's see what else comes up. Yeah, boundaries. So the obstacle to overcome, you have the Nine of Wands, which is Pumpkinhead for some reason. But this is kind of like that Wounded Warrior card. This is feeling a little bit trepidatious about pushing forward on your journey, having some wounds from the past. You're a little bit wary to keep going forward, but you're still standing, you're still here, you're still doing it. So the Strength card is helping you to find that inner strength to keep pushing forward despite the fact that you have been through a lot. And that's why the Ace of Cups is here too. It's helping you to heal. And they're drawing my attention to the Phoenix also as having healing tears. If you guys are Harry Potter fans, like I am, big Harry Potter fan, Fox, the Phoenix, Dumbledore's Phoenix, comes and cries on Harry and heals him from the basilisk bite. So phoenixes have amazing healing powers as well as amazing strength. They can carry very heavy loads like it's light as a feather to them. So this again, it's about that, the healing tears. Perhaps you need to cry to let some things out, and that is a form of strength as well. That's allowing yourself to feel the emotions rather than pushing them away, because creating barriers to your own emotions, pushing them away or spiritual bypassing it's a weakness of the ego. It doesn't want to feel those things. It doesn't want to have to do that kind of self-work, but that's what ultimately allows you to transform, and it allows you to be strong, and you have strength on your side. So the Nine of Wands is that it's you having the strength to keep pushing forward despite the fact that there's been a lot that's happened. Now, the major accomplishment, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so Scorpio had this card in the exact same position, and I shuffled the deck a lot and cut it and everything. So the Knight of Pentacles in the accomplishment position, if you have Scorpio in your chart, could be particularly significant for you. So this is very much about planning, about pushing forward, about creating something new. And it's depicted here as the warrior. So this is really you standing in your strength, because what are warriors? Well, they're very strong. You know, they have to be strong. They had to be really strong. They had so much armor on them. Imagine trying to not only fight with a sword that weighs like 30 to 40 pounds, but being decked out full head to toe armor made of steel. Like they had to be really freaking strong to be able to do this. Not only physically strong, but emotionally strong, mentally strong. They were putting themselves in these very tough situations that they had to fight their way for survival. They fight their way out of. Again, this is like that Wounded Warrior card. Yes, you may have been wounded, but you're still a warrior. You're still a warrior. So this is you really self-healing some of those wounds, you know, like PTSD is what warriors get after they come out of battle. And you need to heal those wounds within you so that you can re-embrace who you really are, which is not the trauma. It is the strength. It is the spiritual soul self, which is ultimately so strong. So the High Priestess is coming up in what to avoid. Now that's interesting to me because the High Priestess, and I love that they've shown her here as a fortune teller, is which is kind of what we're doing here. And well, it is what we're doing here. Let's not mince words. The High Priestess as a what to avoid energy, though, this is kind of like, it's time to be a little bit more practical with things right now for yourself. So this is not necessarily a time to go out and focus on very esoteric things at the moment, although that is, very helpful in certain aspects. For you guys right now, just at this point in your journey with what you're dealing with and what you're going through, it's more important to make the physical changes. So you can sit here and watch tarot videos till the end of time, or at least until you have to go back to work or whatever it is. But it only gives you so much information. It's helpful information. It is. That's why you're here. That's why you were guided to this video. There's helpful information here for you. That's what that consciousness is all about. The sun represents consciousness. It's bringing things to your awareness, and that can really help you. But the key here is action, because if you bring something to your awareness but you don't change your physical actions around that new understanding, then it's really quite pointless. So it's very much about integrating wisdom and information about yourself and what you need moving forward, and then putting it into practical application. So, you know that you need to self-care, but like, are you doing it? Are you actually doing it? Are you making and setting boundaries with yourself and with other people? Are you sticking to those boundaries? Are you establishing trust within yourself? Are you making sure that you're planning and ensuring your stability so that you don't feel unsafe in your life or whatever it is that you're going through? Are you actively seeking to better yourself in every aspect every day? So this is the kind of thing that for you guys this month, it's really about that focus. And temperance is perfect. I love this energy. It's exactly kind of what I was just talking about. It's taking action. Temperance can be about patience as well, patience with the process. But I always see temperance particularly as trial and error. So this is trying new things and seeing what the result is. And then if that's in alignment with you, then great. If not, then tweak it a little bit, try something else. So this is where that action really needs to come in. And putting yourself back out there again may be what's kind of creating some hesitation here, because that Nine of Wands energy, the wounded warrior, there may be some hesitation at taking action to heal, because it's just easier sometimes to sit in it. But it's not really, in the long run, it's not. So it's time to move back into your rhythm, into your flow, and have patience with yourself during the process as you start to heal, to really step into your strength, to really come back into your power. Five of Pentacles. Okay, so where to find support? You've got the Five of Pentacles. It's not necessarily a supportive type of energy, traditionally speaking. The Five of Pentacles in the traditional tarot is depicted as somebody who's left out in the cold, somebody who's destitute, who's a beggar. They don't have what they need. They're stuck in lack. They feel cast out or abandoned in some way, and they're suffering because of it. Now, this Five of Pentacles with the shaman here, it's kind of a different energy. And what I'm seeing this as is the shaman doesn't need a lot of material things to make him happy, because the shaman exists in between worlds. The shaman, as a physical being, knows that he is a multidimensional being. And so the trappings of the flesh no longer hold sway over him. That was something that just channeled and came through. I don't normally speak that eloquently. So thank you, Spirit. What did I say? Something about trappings of the flesh. Anyway, this is very much about transcending some of those physical limitations, especially around money, because you don't have a lot of money in your reading here. It's just the Knight of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles so far, but that, you know, that's always a factor in how we feel safe and how we feel secure in our surroundings. And sometimes that can act as like a cushion to help us to deal with some other things. But I really feel like this isn't so much about what you have, it's about what you do with what you've got on the inside. So this is about having that inner strength. And the shaman is very strong. He transits between the worlds. He heals. He is the spiritual healer. He heals through ritual, which is action, right? So the shamans, they would beat drums, they would do clearing ceremonies with sage, and, you know, they would take ayahuasca in some cases to have that physical transcendent experience, which is like an ego death, and seeing into those other worlds, which is very much that sun, that phoenix energy, and having the strength to do that, because that's not easy. I mean, I've never done it, but I've read extensively on it and researched into it, and it's not something that's like an easy process to undergo, but it forces you to deal with your traumas. It forces you to deal with the areas that are imbalanced within, and it ultimately alleviates those things. It brings you to a higher consciousness around those issues so that they're no longer creating the imbalance within. Yeah, so that's what the shaman wanted to say. That's what's supporting you in January, is your ability to take action to heal some of these things in sometimes very esoteric ways, which is why the High Priestess is here as well. But just make sure that you are doing it for the right reasons, right? It's not spiritual bypassing. Like, really get to that nitty gritty where it's deep self-work. That's what really takes the strength. And then the Fool card. Oh, what a nice way to close out that reading. So the advice and encouragement is the Fool. It's take that leap of faith. It's take that step into the unknown. And I'm loving this with the Five of Pentacles energy, because the Fool, yes, he's like a beggar, you know, but he's happy that way. He has everything that he needs. He's got, look at this happy little cat. Oh my God, look at how happy. Obviously, I love cats, to Kitty and beyond, you know, and he's trading his services for a little bit of money, just enough to be able to get by. That's that Knight of Pentacles energy, the Five of Pentacles and the High Priestess. You know, there's two instances of cards here as well. So whether you guys watch a lot of tarot videos, or perhaps you read tarot for yourself as well, this could be something to keep in mind, because that message is coming through for somebody. And shamanism. Tarot can be a really great tool to help you to dive into these aspects that need to be healed through shamanic healing and consciousness. Tarot can be a really fantastic tool. That's why I do what I do here. It's a form of therapy, getting to the archetypal roots of the imbalances in the subconscious. Now, the Fool card, I really love this as advice and encouragement, because it's, again, similar to that Five of Pentacles energy. It's about being happy with less. It's about needing less because you're happy from the inside out. And people may not understand that. They may think that that's foolish, you know, like this life is all about acquiring material things and having the best this and that and showing it off. But that's all ego. The ego needs those things. The soul doesn't need those things. And that's why the shaman knows that. And that's why the shaman doesn't, you know, like if the shaman, like the modern shaman today would be like a minimalist, because they don't need all of these things to be happy, because they exist at a soul level within this physical incarnation. They've thinned the veil between the worlds in their mind. And that's what the Fool does as well, but he just does it in a more innocent type of way. He's not like super deep into the healing aspects of it. He's just like, I'm here to have fun. I'm here to enjoy my life. And whatever that means to me, it doesn't have to look like the same for everybody else, or I don't have to conform to what people hold as their ideals of success. Like, to me, if I'm happy, that's success. That's being successful. So this is having the strength to stand in that energy, to stand in your individuality, in your individual happiness, having the strength to heal some of these things, perhaps that you felt that you lacked, or that people pushed onto you, you know, out of their own fear or their own conformity to the system of, you know, consumerism. So that's an interesting closing out to the reading. But let's grab an Archangel Oracle card to get an additional message. Counselor popped right out, but I feel like there's one more. Beloved one. Okay, so we have counselor, Archangel Azrael. You are a natural counselor and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. And beloved one, Archangel Shamuel, I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. So that's interesting because not really either of those came up in the reading, although with the exception of counselor, because this is a lot of self-healing work that's going on some levels for you guys. Seeing a counselor or becoming a counselor or something to do with counseling. And that doesn't have to be like traditional therapy. It can be, you know, spiritual counseling, tarot reading. I call this intuitive tarot therapy because I'm not doing it for the purpose of fortune telling. I'm doing it for the purpose of healing. And the intention is what creates the result. So this is a form of spiritual counseling, and that's really, I think, what you guys are kind of being called to embrace. It's that aspect of spiritual counseling that's bringing you the consciousness and the awareness that you need to heal through self-love, to gain this strength to keep pushing forward, healing some of the wounds of the past so that you don't repeat those mistakes, but rather move into new territory fearlessly, knowing your inner strength and being happy with what you have. And again, there's like a little bit of balancing act that comes with that and patience that comes with the process because it doesn't all happen overnight. But beloved one, you're being supported. You're being helped in this process as well as with your spiritual soulmate relationship. Now, because you have the Ace of Cups here, if it was the Two of Cups, I would say, you know, then there's a love interest coming into the picture. Because it's the Ace of Cups, working on your spiritual soulmate relationship this month is more about you. It's self-love. And when you step into self-love and you heal, then you begin to attract people into your life that reflect that. So first and foremost, self-love is the key, because self-love is all there really is. Every other person is a reflection of yourself. Every other person is another version of you. So if you love yourself, you love every other version of yourself too, and you attract that. All right, Sagittarius, that is your reading for January 2020. I really hope that it resonated for you guys and that you have a good rest of the month and rest of the year. Stick around for the new readings next month for February. And if you guys would like more detail on what's going on in your particular life, or you're seeking any spiritual counseling, please reach out to me. All the information will be in the description box below. If you'd like to book a tarot reading, I have lots of different options, or a Reiki healing session, which is really fantastic for getting down to the nitty-gritty, seeing psychically into the auric field as to these wounds that need to be healed, that need to become part of your consciousness so that you can transform them and really gain that inner strength. Okay, so yep, all the information's in the description box below, all how to contact me, book a reading or session, all that good stuff. And thanks so much for watching. If you resonated, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stick around for more of these horoscope readings monthly, as well as energetic updates for the collective ascension of humanity and general spiritual chit chats that I like to do. I love you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.